What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. James here with Synergy Fly Fishing down in Virginia. Today we're going to be making a Marabou brush. I've been working with brushes since last year, and it is really it's really elevated my tying game, and it's really opened my eyes to the opportunities and the customization in tying and the ease at which brushes tie in. So I figured I'd start making some content on it, and wanted to break the ice on the YouTube channel. And I figured, why not start with something simple like a Marabou brush. Now, I've been using this mainly for this pattern right here that I coined the high mileage, which I actually learned from another guide in the state, Matt Miles. So shout out to Matt for teaching me this. I learned it at a free tie night at Tailteller's Fly Shop. But I mean, this pattern has been so good for me. It's been caught a lot of smallmouth and a lot of trout for me. So this is a tan version that I whipped up, but this pattern has a stinger in the back, and it's got two feathers, and then the original pattern just Palmer Marabou in there. But I find that the Marabou brush, man, it really ties in good, and it adds to the longevity of the pattern. So you tie it in different colors. I got a brown right there, and shoot, you can even mix the Marabous and have. I'm just gonna do a brown trout on that one. So yeah, it's really easy to do. So I'll show you what you need to make it, and how to make it. It's real simple. Whip some up, you're gonna love it. Let's do it. All right, first thing obviously you're gonna need is a dubbing brush box or device, whatever you want to call it. There's a few options out there. I think if you follow Gunnar Brammer, which a lot of people know who he is, he's got one that he promotes, the Stonfo. That'll work, but I've been using this one by Fly Fish Food. What's up, Cheech? This one's really good. I really love this box. It's got this little magnetic, drop table on it. Well made, sweet. I love it. You will need a drill though. And one thing with this box, if you did get it, I actually had to prop it up with 2 DVDs to get the center line of that drill to be with the center line of that pin, and it's actually off just a little bit, but it still works. So that's one thing. If you do get one of these, you might have to adjust it. But it's a sweet box, so you'll need that, obviously. And then here's your materials. You'll need some 006 or 6/1000 of an inch, which that's what I use at least, stainless steel wire on an old bobbin. One thing that really helps too is one of these little keepers that keeps it from turning into a silly string. That's super helpful. Some Marabou you're choosing. We've got some Nature Spirit olive right here. You'll need just a really cheap comb, and specifically one with a wider gap. That one really helps with this Marabou brush. You don't want something that's really fine, which this one's like 2-sided, but I use that side. You'll need something to cut the wire, and then you'll need some wax. This is some Loon high tack wax. I suppose that pretty much any wax will do on this Marabou brush, because you really don't put a whole lot of material on here. So that's all you freaking need, man. And so let's change the camera angle here. I'm gonna try to prop this up over the shoulder, and we'll do a brush real quick. All right, so your initial step is to secure this wire to this little split ring on this pin. So I'm gonna show you how to do that real quick. So basically you wanna get a big long tag end, pull your big tag end out and just lay your bobbin just right on the table, and wrap your tag end down through there once, twice. Make sure it's nice and tight. And this can be a little bit tricky sometimes. It could be a pain in the butt. All right, 1, 2, 3 times. So now you got a tag in. So now I pulled it tight. I'm pulling it this way. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna pinch pretty close right there. And with my other hand, I'm gonna go over with the drill, and I'm gonna squeeze and try to get, 8 to 10 wraps and get that thing started. So it doesn't need much. So basically you can see I've got 8 to 10 wraps in there. And nice little tag in here, sitting here. Get my clips, go in here and clip this little tag, and a good little tip Don't clip that thing too short. Leave it kind of long, because if you don't, it'll prick the crap out of you later. All right, so we got that. So now, excuse me, we're gonna drag it all the way over here and connect it. But before we do, I'm gonna actually hit it with the wax. So I'm gonna do that really quick, try not to bust this camera. And it's actually easier to go this way. I just kind of drag it right along. You don't need much wax. This high-tech wax or this really sticky wax, man, you don't need much. If I'm gonna do a bigger brush, I'll make sure it's on there really good, but just kind of rub it on there. Once you feel like you got enough wax on there, let's see if I got the camera angle right. Goodness. Sorry about the vibration. All right, so to secure it over here, I'm gonna wrap 1, 2, 3 times around the post, and I'm gonna drop down underneath it, and then go 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Put your finger there, and then bring your bobbin over here to the back side and just let it hang around the back on the back side of your on your box. So then there you go. So you got it connected. Let's see if I can't twist this thing. We got it connected up, and then you can just pull your box up or pull your table up, and it should be right in line, because Fly Fish Food is the stuff. And you're ready to lay your materials on there. All right. Got the camera angle figured out. I'm ready to lay some marabou on this thing. There's a couple of different ways to laying your marabou on here. I saw some videos online already of some guys doing these brushes. One guy actually stripped the marabou, like, stripped a bunch of these fibers off and then cut it and then put it on the board. What I actually like to do is get me a good piece of marabou and kind of get like 15 of these things, and kind of get the stem horizontal to the board here, so where your fibers are straight like this, and just grab it really close to the stem. And I'm actually going to cut it right off the feather onto the table. So your stem might get a little arced, and you kind of want that, so you might have a little bit of curvature in your stem right there. I don't know if you can see that. So when I get a little curve in your stem, grab like 15 of those so you can maximize the length of these things, and just cut it right onto the board. So I'm going to go over here and snip it right onto the board. And essentially, try to zoom in over here. You want to leave like a 1/4 inch tag, about thereabouts, and just kind of repeat that process all the way down the board. It's really easy. And if you see some fibers in there that you don't like, you just strip them out, but this feather looks pretty good. So I'm gonna flip it over, try to get them straight, get like another 15, get it real close to the stem, cut it. And you can kind of pack this stuff together. This stuff is so loose that it separates, and it forms into a brush like really nicely. So if you start stacking other materials together, you got to be careful of your proportions, but this is pretty good, man. It's super easy, and it makes tying in marabou a dream. So yeah, so to save some time in the video, I'm just gonna repeat this all the way down the board, and then we'll do kind of like last time, and when I wrap the wire, we'll show you that. All right, we're getting close. We got all our marabou on there. We are ready to secure the wire. All right, so what you want to do now is carefully, not to get your materials, get you some more wax on this piece of wire, and I'm probably blocking the camera angle. Carefully get down here. When you're down here close, I like to kind of get on top, and then get farther away, you can get underneath. Well, get you another nice little coat. This is gonna be tough, but basically get enough wax to where you can cover up the top of the material. Then I'm gonna just drop it right down over the top of the material, and I'm going to pinch right here at the connection point. I'm going to pull it and lay it over. One thing you need to do, oops, I got some, it's going to hang out, it's probably going to pick some out right there, that's okay. Have your clippers close by, because you're going to need to cut this, and this can be tricky because you want to leave kind of a long tag and you don't want to cut it too short. So I like to kind of get up in here and drag it a little bit back and then cut it. All right, so don't let go, whatever you do. Now you got to get under here 3 times like you did before earlier in the video. Just like I did, I'm going to wrap in there 3 times. And it's kind of tricky. It can be, this can be the pain part earlier. When you're starting it, it's a whole lot easier. All right, I got it once. I'm pulling tight. I'm always keeping tension on this thing somewhere where I'm pinching. So now I'm pinching. I can let go. Go back under again. And this is kind of hard with the light in my face. So that's 2. One more time. 3. All right. We got it 3 times. All right, so I got a little bit of a tag. If you got like a really long tag, you want to cut it because you don't want to kind of wrap it into the material. So I actually might clip this just a little bit. Oops, I bumped my light. Don't knock over the light. All right, so I'm pinching that tag, pinching everything. I've transferred my hand. So now I'm going over to the drill. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start real slow, kind of go half trigger on the drill until I see this material right here start to twist. And when I see it start to twist, I'm gonna drop the table kind of like with my hand and then let go. So we're gonna do that right now. Oops. You can be careful of that little tag and it might prick you. Alright, it's starting to twist and dropping the table. And as soon as you drop the table, you can kind of gun it. Alright, so it looks a little messy right now. I knew I was going to lose some material right there, but that's okay. You kind of want to check to make sure everything's looking kind of kosher. And of course, I do a video, I'm going to lose a chunk of material right here, but everything looks kind of kosher. You don't want to pick it right now with the brush because it's kind of pretty loose. And I might actually grab that, all that stuff right there, because I see I'm going to lose that. And just get it out of the way. Hit it again. Where's my comb? Come over here. It's going to mat up just a little bit right here. Get in here, just real lightly pick it. Don't pick it after the first hit of the drill. Make sure you just start picking it after the second. And everything's looking kind of kosher. If you see something matted down, just try to pick it out. Like I said, I'm using the wide gap, and I'm going really light on this. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'll pick a little bit harder later, but just want to make sure everything's kind of separated for the most part. We'll hit it again. You kind of check the tension down here. Now I can go a little more aggressive with the comb, and I know I'm not going to lose anything really. We'll lose very little. And this thing's about done, man. I'm going to hit it a 4th time, check it, maybe give it a tap. I could pick it out again right now, but it's going to unravel a little bit when you cut it right here. So I'm going to clip it. You'll watch it unravel. There it goes. And there you go. Kind of pick it out one last time, holding on this tag end right here. Give it a couple of picks. And this thing is ready pretty much to be used as is right now. And like I said, man, I was using this on the streamer pattern on the back end of it, but you could tie this in a variety of colors and use it on pretty much any pattern that you normally palm or marabou on. And this thing is sweet. Oh, one last thing. I actually cut this thing normally in half. This thing comes at about 14 inches off the bench here. But if I could do it, if you cut this thing in the middle, you get a whole lot more workable pieces, and you can kind of just cut, you know, start right here, cut you a little tag end to tie in, and then this will be you got 2, you know, pieces that are long wire that you can kind of hold on to. And yeah, man, tie some of these things up. Hope you guys enjoy them, and tag me in some posts with what you're tying with them. Tight lines.